Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of AoE2 stats that don't matter. There's a lot of interesting things about Age of Empires 2. We're able to learn something new each and every day. And a lot of that information I send your way, you should retain. You should hold on to that. You should use that. You should let it affect how you play the game and how you even watch the game. That's not this, okay? These stats do not matter. They are interesting, and I have a feeling they might influence some people's decisions. But remember, these stats do not matter. Thank you, by the way, for liking the first episode where we talked about the wonders, and check that out in the description if you guys didn't already. Today's focus is on AoE2 color stats. Most of you probably know this, but in case you don't, if you're playing in a lobby, there are colors 1 through 8. If you're playing ranked, you get assigned either even or odd colors. That's a pretty simple concept. So I have data here that does not matter. And first, we're going to start off with the Definitive Edition 1v1 unrated games. The all-time most successful color in lobby browser games is color 6, who wins 51.7% of the time. Now, that's not that high. A little disappointed by that, but I suppose it all averages out in the end. The least successful colors are actually tied between player 2 and player 8 at 48.8%. So maybe you should skip over those so you don't lose your games 48.8% of the time. The most picked color in lobby games is blue, which doesn't surprise me. It probably also defaults to that more often than not for a lot of people. Blue was picked 34% of the time, and then the least amount picked was 3.1% in gray, which I'm going to say is probably just that time where people had to have a player 7. No one wants gray, let's be honest. You're thinking, okay, T90, these statistics don't matter, but they're kind of interesting. You want to spice it up a little bit more before I click off this video? Well, check out rated games here. This is pretty crazy. I figured most of the stats for win rate was going to be anywhere from like 49 to 51% because I figured it even out in the end. And what we just saw was that purple was most successful 51.7% of the time. I don't see that as success for me. That's like barely over even. For ranked games, however, we have very different data. The blue color, so player 1, is the most successful 55.3% of the time. That's much higher than what we saw in the lobby browser games. And then something that's crazier to me is that yellow is the least successful color at 43.9%. That is 6.1% below 50. I don't know what's going on there. Also, odd numbers are hugely successful compared to even numbers. 55.2% of the time, odd numbers, so 1, 3, 5, and 7, are winning against even numbers. The most picked is 39%, which is blue. That, again, is probably just people who don't set their color who end up getting assigned that. And then the least picked, just like the lobby browser games, is 1.1%. Now, I was trying to think, why would yellow be so low? Because blue I can explain. Again, it's a number you get assigned if you don't change it. A lot of players play blue. That's not really that crazy. But when I think player 4, when I think yellow, I think of the Viper, who's the best player in the world, who has consistently picked yellow when he can throughout tournaments. You have to assume that Viper's not tanking the entire rating. He's an incredible player, so he's winning a lot. And I just kept thinking and thinking and thinking, and I have a theory that I hope doesn't upset you guys. If I was a starting player, or if I was a player who's having a bad day, or if I was a player who felt like, you know what, I need a little bit more help to get this win, or maybe if I was just a fanboy, or all 4 of those things, what color would I choose? I might choose yellow. Now, I hope that you guys don't get upset with me. Maybe you can leave comments and say, yup, I choose yellow every time I'm having a bad day. But 43.9%, I'm going to blame that on Viper, and I think a lot of people out there have probably picked yellow thinking that it's going to help them become him. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this useless stats video. We have a lot more data on civs, actually. We have data from before the Definitive Edition. We have data on colors and civs and all this cool stuff. Obviously, like civ data and things of that nature does matter. I'm going to focus on bringing in data that doesn't matter. So if you have any interesting little quirky things that you want me to look into, or if you just like the content, make sure you leave a like, make sure you leave a comment, and we'll get more stats that don't matter to your doorstep. Doorstep? It's not going to be on your doorstep, but we'll get it somewhere within a couple weeks up on the YouTube channel. Thanks again, everyone, for watching. Don't pick yellow.